Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and before I get into today's show, every single person needs to pay their respects. 9 years ago today, the great Al Davis passed. So, type Al, type GOAT, type RIP, and if you also want to throw down there an awesome memory of Al, please do it. Coming up here on today's show, I'm going to break down 9 players the Raiders could sign, but I'm going to tell you whether or not they should. That's all coming up right now here on the Raiders Report. No matter the location, from O-A-K-L-A to L-V, I'm a Raider. Raider Nation, what's going on? Mitchell Renz here for the Las Vegas Raiders Report, the #1 most watched Raiders channel on YouTube. If you haven't already, go ahead, hit that big red button that says subscribe, and hopefully y'all are subbed and hanging out with me for my Chiefs versus Raiders watch party on Sunday about 10 minutes before kickoff. Let's get right into it. The first name that I want to talk about here is Eric Weddle. And what you're going to see are some of the top players that people have either asked me about or some of the top players that are free agents. The thing about Weddle, he's actually not even a free agent. He retired last season, but should the Raiders call Weddle, this one's for Chucky heads. Believe it, baby. There's been reports that he could potentially come back to football. And yes, he might not be what he once was back in 2018 and 2017. But Weddle is a better free safety than Eric Harris. That I can almost guarantee you. And last season, with the Rams, 108 tackles. The other reason why I think this would be an absolute great fit for this team, you had Corey Littleton, you had LaMarcus Joyner, you also, brought Kyle Emanuel also out of retirement, so you know that you can do it. You're seeing a lot of these other players really be able to insert themselves into the defense, and I'm a believer that Eric Weddle, yes, would be an upgrade over Eric Harris, and maybe you just make Eric Harris the run-stopping safety. That was one of the reasons why you went out and signed Demarius Randall. Still not 100% sure why they ended up letting him go. So you go out, you bring back Weddle in. He becomes your new starting free safety because at the end of the day, man, this defense is so frustrating to end up watching. And my heart beats for the Raiders. But, if you don't start playing some defense, I'm worried that it's going to stop. Because at the end of the day, you got the Chiefs in Week 5. And the performance that I've seen on the field, I know what Johnathan Abram said today. He didn't think that the defense is playing all that bad. I'm sorry, man. I'm going to respectfully disagree. Now, today's show is made possible from our sponsor, BetUS. And I want every single person to please support our sponsors. That's how we can keep the shows for free. Go to chatsports.com/Raiders if you want to bet on the Raiders because they're 13-point underdogs. If you want to bet on other NFL games. But if you want the hookup, you got to go to chatsports.com/Raiders and you got to use the promo code Raiders125 for 125% deposit bonus. And to sweeten the deal, after you get signed up and you get started and you deposit $100, I'm going to hook you up with a free Raiders jersey. I can get you Josh Jacobs. You want a Derek Carr? I got you covered. Now, you can see the email below. If you get started with BetUS, email me at raiders@chatsports.com. Or if everything that I just said went in one ear and out the other and all you heard was free jersey deal, it's okay. I've been there, done that. Email me, raiders@chatsports.com to get all the details on how to get a free jersey. All right, Eric Reid, you're next up here on the Raiders Report. Strong safety. Should the Raiders give Eric Reid a call? Again, this one for Chucky heads. Believe it, baby. Now, sure, he is a lot like a player like a Johnathan Abram, but he adds depth to the secondary, and he can also play a little bit of linebacker. So you're seeing a Raiders team that, again, is struggling right now at LB, and you need somebody that can cover the tight end. Sure, if you go out and sign Reid right now, he's not going to be able to play against the Chiefs. That's also something to keep in mind here. All these players, if you go out and sign them now, with all the COVID rules, they're not going to be ready to rock and roll, obviously, until Week 7, because the Raiders have a Week 6 bye. So for me, yes, you give Eric Reid a call. It adds some depth, and yes, he's also probably a better free safety than Eric Harris. Now, I don't want you all to miss out on my watch party. If you like Raiders tailgates, if you want that play-by-play and a good time, I promise you my Raiders vs. Chiefs watch party, which starts about 10 minutes before kickoff, is going to be lit. Go ahead, subscribe, youtube.com/Raiders Report. Vontaze Burfict. Should the Raiders give Vontaze a call? The news coming out today is that Vontaze is actually in Las Vegas as we speak. But No, the Raiders should not call Vontaze. And I know y'all are probably going to get mad at me for this one. And the only reason why he's in Vegas, because I actually hear people go to Vegas to have a good time, news on the street. The reason why this is a no is because the NFL, for one, is going to be looking any way they could to just take Vontaze out of the entire equation. Last season, he had a hit on Jack Doyle. He was suspended 12 games. Was he a captain? Yes. Did he look good in the Paul Guenther system? Yes. This has nothing to do with the fact that I don't think Vontaze is a good player. It's not the case. It is the simple fact of if they go out and get him, I don't think that he's actually going to be able to play the entire season for the simple fact of if they're looking for a penalty, they'll figure out a way to make it, and then they're going to get him out of the league. Now, the whole idea of making this show is the defense hasn't been playing well. The offense has been up and down. I get asked all the time, hey, can the Raiders go out and get this guy? Can the Raiders go out and get this guy? I made this show because I want the interaction. So scroll on down in the comments section and let me know a player the Raiders should go out and sign. Anytime I ask the question, Earl Thomas' name pops up. So you know I had to put him on the show. I've been very vocal about my opinion on Earl, and I'm going to stick with it here. Right now, he is the best free agent available. That's why it's for Chucky Heads Believe It Baby. If you're a team that believes you're in win now mode, you make the move. You at least call Earl Thomas to see what he's doing. Sure, he is a little bit of a locker room cancer. There is no doubt about that. It's why the Ravens decided to move on from him. But I have watched 4 weeks. I watched all last season. The Raiders need a true free safety. That's what Earl is. Now, is it a high-risk, high-reward type of signing? Yeah, absolutely. But sometimes that's what you need to do to get over the hump. So let's say the Raiders go out. They call Earl. They're like, hey, man, what is it going to take? Because for me, I think actually Earl would end up signing for a very, very cheap type of deal. And you're also going to find out really quick how good your defense is. I don't know, man. I've watched Josh Allen torch us. I've watched this defense struggle in week 1, week 2, and I don't want to do it anymore. So, yes, it's a high risk. Yes, it's very, very, I guess we'll just say ballsy. But I do know the fact that Eric Harris can't start, and Earl Thomas at this point would be an upgrade. We're in Vegas for a reason. Roll the dice. All right, you got to pick one to sign here. The other name that I haven't really talked about yet, Clinton Dix. He's another player that I would much rather have over Eric Harris. So type ET for Earl, type ER for Eric Reid, HC for Clinton Dix, or EW for Eric Weddle. Out of those 4 players, who would you want the Raiders to go out and sign the most? Let's go to the offensive side of the ball now. We got Mohamed Sanu. Should the Raiders give Mohamed Sanu a call? Hey, Mitch. He used to kind of work with Paul Guenther in Cincinnati when they were together. No. Tuck rule. Tuck that. He was released by the 49ers. It didn't work out whatsoever, and I mean whatsoever with the New England Patriots. Edwards, there's been some injuries there. He's going to be back after the Week 6 bye. Also, the fact that Henry Ruggs is practicing. Don't panic. Mohamed Sanu is washed up at this point. I mean, think about all the injuries the 49ers have had, and they still decided to move on from him. Let's now go to a familiar face, Prince Amukamara. And is it time for the Raiders to maybe say I'm sorry and go back and get Prince? Yeah, I am 100% on board with this one. This one is for Chucky Heads. Why should they go out and bring back Prince Amukamara? For the simple fact of he would be the second best corner on this team right now. Trayvon Mullen has been an absolute stud. But for Prince, the reason why the Raiders ended up cutting him was because they wanted to give Damon Arnette some more run. And, well, he is on IR right now. With the fact that he is on IR, no offense to Nevin Lawson, Prince is better than Nevin Lawson. So what about this depth chart right here? You have Prince Amukamara. You then throw LaMarcus Joyner back at free safety. And then to get Amik Robertson a little bit more playing time because my man did not look good whatsoever. Why not go and make this thing happen? All I'm saying is this. If it's broken, you need to fix it. The issue is you're trying to do the same thing over and over and over again. And if Paul Guenther wants to keep his job, you got to mix it up. Because literally Albert Einstein himself, if you don't think I'm a smart guy, maybe you think Einstein is. He literally said the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. We've seen it for 4 weeks, and we've seen it all last year. LaMarcus Joyner shouldn't be in the nickel. Put him back in the safety position. Then Eric Harris can play on rundowns. You have Amik. You could still say Young. Throw him in the nickel. See what he's got. But let me know. Should the Raiders go out and re-sign Prince Amukamara? I say yes, but let me know if you're going to type your N for no. Cameron Wake, you're next up here on the Las Vegas Raiders Report. And should the Raiders go out and get this old man a call? Again, for Chucky heads, this one is a believe it baby, and it pains me to say this, but the Raiders are struggling to get after the quarterback. And I don't mean just like a little bit of struggling. I mean, the fact that Max Crosby is the only player with more than half a sack is disgraceful. And honestly, his 3 sacks are on 4 pressures. The Raiders are not getting any pressure on the quarterback. And then you got guys sitting down there that have all day to throw. You're ripping apart the secondary. Get some pressure on the quarterback. I know Cameron Wake isn't what he used to be. But you know what? Again, I've seen it. No pressure. We need to get some pressure. Cameron Wake, come on. Come to the Raiders. All right, y'all. If you missed it earlier on in the show, maybe you were sleeping, maybe you had to take a potty break, I don't know what you were doing. Go to BetUS, support the show, where you can get the best deal on the internet. If you like to bet on sports, go to chatsports.com/Raiders to get that 125% deposit bonus. But you got to use promo code Raiders125. Promo code Raiders125 gets you the deposit bonus, and it's going to get you a free Raiders jersey. So maybe, I don't know, maybe you're the person that likes to bet on the games, but hey, your son needs a jersey. We can hook him up with a jersey. And if you didn't hear anything that I just said, and all you heard was jersey, email me on how to get the free jersey details at Raiders@chatsports.com. I'm going to say it again, Raiders@chatsports.com if you want details on how to get a free NFL jersey. Thanks to our sponsor, BetUS. Clay Matthews, should the Raiders go out and give this man a call? 34 years old, had 8 sacks last year. You probably are thinking it's 4 Chucky heads, but I'm going to say Tuck rule, tuck that. I'm not going to give Clay Matthews a call, and it's because of fit. He is a 3-4 linebacker, which absolutely does not fit what the Raiders do. And he's a 3-4 edge linebacker, so if God forbid he had to cover anyone, I'm telling y'all right now, it would not be pretty whatsoever. Now let me know in the comments, because this video is getting ready to be, well, over. What's the Raiders' biggest weakness? Is it, I don't know, quarterback? No, it's not. Is it safety? Is it edge rusher? Is it linebacker? Let me know right now what the Raiders' biggest weakness is heading into Week 5. I might be able to make the argument it's defensive tackle. That's why Marcell Dareus is next up here on my list. And the Raiders, again, should call Marcell. It's for Chucky heads. And for the simple fact of Mo Hurst going to miss the game with COVID. Malik Collins has been battling a shoulder injury. He might not play. Plus, he's been playing bad in general. And when you look at the defensive tackles right now for this team, the fact that it's really going to be only Johnathan Hankins because Daniel Ross, he's hurt. Malik Collins is battling an injury, and according to these PFF grades, I mean, guys, this is out of 165 players. This is terrible, and I don't care if you want to win, if you want to be able to beat Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, you got to pressure them. And the fact that there is no interior pressure right now is why I'm like, hey, could you go out and get a Marcell Dareus? The name that I didn't mention is Jabal Sheard. Maybe him. At the end of the day, this is the National Football League, and you need to be able to go out and get some pressure.